Everybody, how are you doing? So good to see you on this here. It is Wednesday. Yeah, I believe it is, isn't it? So, BOSTO, favor be unto you, full restoration, virtual hug. Yeah, you know, there seems to be they would say a dark Sith about. So anyway, big hug to everybody. Uh, Good therapy makes you feel alive. So give me 1 second. I want to do this, and there we go. So what's up? Middle of the week? I don't know. Could be the beginning of the week. Uh, could be the end. Hey, Dragon Soul Fox. So big ice storm, huh? That's what I'm reading. Well, David Castle, I hear that you're in the eye of the storm heading towards you. Hey, ice storms suck. I mean, give me a foot of snow, give me a foot of rain, but ice. Lived in Missouri for a number of years and had all I want. I lived in Tennessee and had a few of those in Nashville. So, yeah. So, hello, moderators. Marsha, how are you doing? Let's see. Lost in Space and Mr. Floyd. Good to see you. Delta Hook. Good to see you. Favor. Hey, Kaz. Much love to you, dear. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah. It's fun until the power goes out. That happened. There was a particular ice storm in Missouri right during Christmas back in 83, I think, anyway. Like 2 inches of ice. Power went off. Wasn't on for seemed like 2 weeks. Hey, Lucky Stone, how are you doing? Sale Chaos, good to see you. Gaza, welcome. Summertime down in Melbourne. Surf's up. Very, very cold. Has been. Wow, no fires, no heat, wearing jackets to work. That is interesting weather. Yeah. Hey, Elderberry, what's up? Boots on the ground. Loretta, good to see you as well. Bonnie, what's up? Jules, Stephanie, what's up? About the ventricular brain located on the fourth ventricle. Going to talk about some stuff. So, this topic is one that, as I have said before, I have a very personal identity with it. Was a person that was used to casting out demons in the name of Jesus. The name of Jesus, casting out demons. Let's stop and look at something, because this is a very interesting topic. We have to ask the question here, what's really going on? Because I contend that there is, in fact, something going on here. And let me get that. There we go. See, I think that the battle for this quadrant is already that whoever owned it before lost it, apparently. That one's been fought and won. The battle for man, now, that's a different story. That's a war, by all evidence, is ongoing. Man does not know who the victor is, nor does man know the enemy. I contend that when I wrote that, 3 years ago, it's still today. So, do demons really exist? We've studied deeply on this subject. Are they humans? Are they alien? It's really down to this, I think, two possible variables on the topic. Spirits do exist. We've had deep discussions here. Many of us have this deeply into our consciousness. Are we really human? Are humans, in actuality, aliens? By all indication, a counter to the argument could be made that humans do not belong here, ever, should never have been here. We are foreign to this environment. We cannot exist in this environment unless we alter it. The environment, like everything else on this planet that can adapt and does adapt, humans don't. We say we adapt, but no, what we do is that we alter, we change, we rearrange. I don't know. So we know that this is not just Hollywood. We know that this is, in fact, as they would say, real. Humans have let's say, the propensity to alter their physical form. They have been recorded, and I have seen this straight up, exhibit incredible bouts of strength, speak in an ancient language that modern humans have no idea what it is, and can tell you everything about your life, even those things when you think and thought no one was watching. They're always watching us. Every time you get in the shower, every time you do your business, whatever, there are eyes watching you, always, always, always. And what's really interesting is that what we're dealing with today seems to be very adaptable to any religion. And they draw out. So, the question is, are they religious, whoever they are? What religion are they? I mean, do they preach a dogma? Are they bound by some ideology, some theology? My question is, when did they convert? Christianity is a new religion. The one practiced today did not exist 500 years ago. The Christianity today is a new religion, as many of them are. Why do some convert, some don't? I don't know. How can they be afraid of a name that did not exist? The name of Jesus is a made-up name, has no foundation in any logic, in any language. It's a made-up name. And it's amazing how we put so much stock in made-up names. Do you think we're creating this? And then the question is, why us? I mean, we are nothing more than walking monkeys. People hate that, but it's a fact, Jack. And fact check me. Just fact check me. We're all walking monkeys. We have been altered. Our DNA has been arranged, but our closest relative is a chimpanzee. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We're enlightened. We're ascending. Really? So why us if this is the case? I mean, if we're just a bunch of walking monkeys talking, well, how many of you ever seen the movie Legion? You ought to see it. In there, Lucifer tells the young detective, he says, all you are is a talking monkey. To angels and demons, we are nothing more than upright vertebrates that have picked up our arms enough through evolution to where we're no longer dragging them along the way. I contend that's how most aliens see us too, if aliens do exist. So it comes back to this. I mean, if we can create thought forms, servitors, tupas, golems, and that's what people, there is certain Kabbalah beliefs that that's what Gentiles are. They're just golems. They have no soul. They don't even have a spirit. So did we just create this madness? Did someone feed us the poison pill? And suddenly we, how shall we say, boom, as the Big Bang theory goes, boom, there was a God. Boom, there was a devil. Boom, there was a demon. Boom, there was an angel. Freud had an idea on this. He says demons do not exist any more than gods do, being only the products of the psychic activity of man. I've never seen a God. I've challenged every religion I know. Show me your God. Show me any God that's manifested before humanity. Listen, if they're a God, they could have manifested before humanity all at the same time. Never happened. Never will happen. But we like to believe this. So let's look at our options then. So either we're a spirit that has been infected by a fallen angel, an alien, and this impacted us to where we became human. Now, from there, you can say, well, we're living sentient life forms. Okay, well, so we're the Nephilim, apparently. Or we're from E.T. Maybe E.T. is God. I don't know. Maybe E.T. is Jesus, Muhammad. I don't know. Buddha. I don't know. It does seem that there is the evidence that does validate that we are interdimensional life forms, unless consciousness is a fraud. Now, here's the other thing. Maybe we're nothing more than a parasite. We feed off of human brains. We attack the bodies. We infest these bodies at the moment of birth. That's how the parasite is passed on from mother to host. Now, this is a living fact. Maybe our other option is that we've all just been insane. We're born insane. That we don't know anything different than insanity. If you look at today's world, you would say that humans are infected or mentally ill. All humans are today. And then there is always the unknown. Who knows? I ain't got a freaking idea. Because when you're in captivity, your keepers has total control on who and what you are, really. They can break a human and make a human anything they want. In fact, many say that that's what's happening to us right now, is that the human will is being broken. And once the human will is broken, it can be molded into anything the claymaker wants. And that's what golems are, something that inhabits a clay form. So we all get wrapped around this, talk about it all the time. Fallen angels. Seriously. If that construct exists, that is one freaked out place with a sick freaking consciousness that even brought it into existence. But yet, there very well could be truth to this in an allegorical form that was taken back from something that happened, as we know, with Star Wars. Somewhere a long, long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was this battle that took place. in bipedal advanced life forms that had the ability to transmute their bodies. They have so advanced themselves that, unlike mortal man who cannot transmute his body at will, not yet, these beings can. I contend they have a substance that is different than our bodies. There is something that they know, and all it is technology, nothing more. There's no hoodoo to the voodoo. No, thou shalt, up yours with that type of theology. But I contend that this was a shadow of what was an epic war with an alien species that was non-homo. Now, homo is man. Sapien means wise. Boy, someone got that one wrong. Talk about ego. But if they found us, then the question is, how long ago was this? They were here. No doubt about it. We see them in every religion, every occult thought, every ideology. These beings apparently ruled us. Some say that really man is nothing more than just prey. It's all we ever have been. We get this from Paradise Lost. And one of the things that I can say why there is no Lucifer, no Satan, because you have to understand that if Satan existed in the construct that is painted into modern day mythology, they say he's a creature of ego. Well, no. The Christian God, the Jewish God, the Islamic God, they're the egomaniacs. But if Satan was of the same bloodline, so to speak, well, he'd have an ego as well. And he's going to take a bunch of losers, man. He doesn't want them. Let me tell you, humans are dirty. We're filthy creatures. If we don't wash these bodies begin to stink. And if you don't take care of them long enough and wash them and let them go long enough, you start developing new life forms on your body. Fungus begins to eat your flesh, and yet you stink all the more. We live in a false reality. We love the fact that we can get in the shower and take a hot shower. That's a very recent development, at least in the last 10,000 years. Think about it. So, people have seen these creatures. I have. Saw it in a church, saw an angel, and I wasn't alone. So what are they? Are they shapeshifters? Why do they choose sides? And since we were created in their image, apparently, do you know that there are still some humans? Yes, check me out on this, that have grown wings, tails. Seems like this was just not a galactic battle, but this was an interdimensional battle, because apparently these beings that have the ability to fly, to do whatever they can do, transmute matter, they die. They can be killed. Where do they go? We know that they're not of our genome. They're bipedal in appearance. So are they gods or are they invaders? That's the question. We definitely know they're non-Homo sapien. They ruled man apparently in the past. What happened to their spirits, to their souls? Did they have souls? Did they have spirits? Their species went extinct from what we're told, but I don't know. We know that the story of what happened with these creatures is a ripoff of much, much older stories. So is it possible that the angels are really aliens imagined? This gets us into the topic of what's spirit possession. You know, the whole concept of spirit possession of a human body, it exists in many religions: Christianity, Buddhism, Haitian voodoo, Wicca, Hinduism, Islam. I mean, all of them. It's still very popular. It's still the #1 horror drama for Hollywood and for view demons, demonic possession, all of it. And if you believe that demonic possession is believed to be the process by which individuals are possessed by a malevolent, pre-natural beings. So these pre-natural beings, where did they come from? Are they human? They're commonly referred to as demons, daemons, devils. Obsessions and possessions of the devil are placed in the rank of apparitions of evil spirits among humans. It is the obsession when the demon acts externally against the person whom it besets, and possession when he acts eternally, agitates them, excites their ill humor, makes them utter blasphemy, speak in tongues. Really? To speak in tongues they've never learned, discover them unknown secrets, and inspires them with the knowledge of the occultest things in philosophy and theology. Oh yeah, I speak in tongues. Descriptions of demonic possession often include erased memories or personalities. Tulpas, servitors, thought forms, convulsions, epileptic seizures or fits, and feigning as if they were dying. Other descriptions include access to hidden knowledge in foreign languages, called a xenoglossary, drastic changes in vocal intonations and facial structures, the sudden appearance of injuries, scratches, bite marks, or lesions, and superhuman strength. Unlike in channeling, the subject has no control over the possessing entity, and so it will persist until forced to leave the victim, usually through a form of exorcism. Now, I want to get on with this because there are some real cases that we know. This is the exorcism of Emily Rose. They did a whole movie on this. It's probably one of the more documented actual possessions of a human. What she did was incredible. We know, for instance, the Exodus was taken from an actual event in St. Louis, Missouri. We have seen, now that we have CCD cameras all around the world, we're catching moments of when human beings are suddenly possessed by something. Why they seem to have a propensity for religion, it's a mystery. Although it goes back that, while you sleep, know this, and this is what's been known in the church, because the church took it from the Gnostics, and the Gnostics took it from the pagans, and the pagans learned it from even earlier religions, going all the way back to the Sumerians. We're not alone. We're never alone. This has been talked about many times. You can go into all the literature of what a demon-possessed person looks like. This is a creature that in Russia. Story after story. Visual evidence, something going on. It's really interesting because You sense this within the solar plexus. That's all I can say is when you get into this. Again, these are actual pictures of exorcisms ordained and authorized through the Roman Catholic Church. But then again, you have to ask the question, well, what's really going on here? If demon possession actually exists, and that means then we can actually touch the ethereal, the spiritual realm. But this is something that becomes a little interesting. What if this is only in the mind? And what if it was not what we have been taught? Because, I mean, seriously, are demons religious? Do they have different beliefs? Are some Catholics, some go Baptist? We don't believe in that speaking in tongue shit, man. Man, that's of the devil. You know, I mean, are they bilingual? I mean, are they Christian only, or do they dig all religions? I don't know. What if we are in fact nothing more than a parasitic life form? We fool ourselves with this, think of ascension, but really that's all we are. Because here's the interesting thing when you start looking at all of this is, well, okay, if you want to go with, we have the spirit and the soul, and then, you know, the poltergeist and all the hauntings, and, you know, we go on. But folks, what if we're a part of a species that exists in both realms? We see more and more of these things where there are half body, full body apparitions suddenly being caught on cameras. People that look like they time travel. And why do children, why is it that spirits don't seem to age? If you die as a child, you stay as a child. Is that true? I've shown you this before. We know that there is something that is going on. But here's a question, and I wanted to pull this in, and if any of you want these, we can go through this. But look at this as he pulls through. Are you really fast? What if this is what we are right here? A living parasite. A living parasite that when we look under an electron microscope, we begin to find a whole new reality. These life forms exist in us. Does that creep you out? Can you imagine the scientists when they were catching this particular little life form grinning back at him? Yeah, I would have to go and say, so think about this. What if this is where they do live? This is actually what's in our brain. You see this? You'd be surprised how many humans have these worms in their brains. And according to some research, it says that virtually every human is infected. It seems to have a different effect on different brains, but the picture that you saw, that is a human brain that has been sliced. You actually see the eyes, you can see, but this brain is infected with worms, parasites. Does that gross you out or what? And what if this is what we call demons? Some say that this encephalitis, this NMDA receptor, makes this whole thing much more interesting. So it's something that if in fact we are infected, if in fact that maybe we are nothing more than a parasitic species, that we adapt to the host here, I mean, this then has a whole series. What if in fact the demons or whatever what if that is what's infecting us? This is a really strange, I know when you think about this, it's really weird, but folks, so I have come fully prepared because this whole thing about demonic possession is now spreading everywhere. You doubt me? Let's take a little trip. And I've left a lot of these links so all of us can check these out. I didn't want that one. I want this one. Now, this one is interesting, folks. So let me get myself pulled up over here and allow me to share that swindle. There we go. So CNN. Now, this is really weird. I went back and looked at this, and I don't know if this cat was prophetic. I don't know what was going on. But the House chaplain prays to cast out spirits of darkness from Congress. What? I kid you not. This is House Chaplain Pat Conroy. Opening prayer says this has been a difficult and contentious week in which dark spirits seem to have been at play in the people's house. In your most holy name, yada, 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 yada. Are there members of Congress who are demon possessed? Are those maybe in the highest seats of political office actually under the influence of a demigod, an ancient demigod? You know, listen, if you go back and study history, go back and see what the demigod Moloch was. Moloch received from the Israelites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, all of those groups back in that area. They would sometimes actually cut the fetus out of the womb and give this sacrifice to Moloch. The United States has been doing it for nearly 50 years. So are we seeing now key people in key positions of power in technology who are actually under the influence of an ancient Mesopotamian demigod? He says, what are you talking about? Yeah. Gets even stranger, folks. Let's go into this one. This one I found very interesting. So it seems that this card has been played on both sides. I like the idea that they're balanced. Christian right leaders suggest Trump critics are possessed by demons. Today, I read a CNN commentator who said the very same thing about Republicans. Why is it that we always want to start saying, well, they're demon possessed? If there's no substance, no truth to this, then why do we always say it? And then why do we get some of the weirdest acting stuff? Wait a minute. As he pulls this down, there we go. Here's something I found so interesting. This is out of the Huffington Post, and I really, really enjoyed reading this. Let me just get into what this person is saying, why we should take demon possession seriously. And this person goes into talking about in psychiatry that what they have found is that there is legitimacy in something that You can call it earthbound spirits. This is what this person says, whom Buddhists call hungry ghost. Orthodox Jews call the dabuks, I believe. These are beings, all with a history of life on earth, who flee conditions on the other side and navigate earth without the advantage of a physical body. They gravitate towards people with the same weakness they have had before their own deaths. Like parasites, the spirits of men and women who die as drunks, or to take but one example, attach themselves to living alcoholics and drink through them, thus making it doubly difficult for drinkers to reform themselves. Now, again, this is on through the Huffington Post. Earthbound spirits do serious harm, but they are seldom motivated by hatred for the persons whose life they help ruin. They just want relief from their own pain. But others, the subject of this essay, are clearly malevolent. These delight in destroying lives. They are the serial killers of the afterworld. I keep telling you, folks, I hope some of you begin to understand. I'm not being negative here. I'm trying to tell you it's not what you have been taught about the other side. If these benevolent spirits can rape a woman at night and do the same to a man, do you think that they're just out for a walk? Often they target specific individuals. They especially delight in bringing about a suicide. Many schizophrenics who hear voices in their heads urging them to destroy themselves will tell you, if you permit them to speak, that these voices are alien. They don't come from within, as most psychiatrists think. No, these voices are the ones we should reserve the word demonic for. So, what is the evidence of these dark entities? There are many indicators. Francis McNutt, a leading Catholic figure in the spiritual healing ministry, has seen them all. A woman may start to speak in a husky voice like a man, or a mild-mannered person may begin speaking in a snide, insulting tone of voice. Often the voice uses the plural we, and on rare occasions speaks a foreign language unknown to the victim, McNutt continues. And folks, I've seen this on both sides. I've gone into the psych wards. Again, I used to be in that deliverance ministry. And I have seen something other than the individual in control. Now, when you walk into the psych ward, the old hospital up in St. Louis, and they locked the doors, it was more secure than the prison was when we used to do prison ministry. And when you see a woman, she didn't look quite human, but when you see a human that can walk on the freaking side of the wall and look at you and tell you things that only you know, folks, this is real as it gets. It says perhaps the most common external indication of demonization comes when the person's facial expressions change. It is as if you are no longer looking at the same person you started talking to. The old saying, the eyes are the windows of the soul, becomes especially meaningful. And if you all know, those of you who've encountered, there is something about black eyes that they will send you to the place of the nothingness. It is as if the evil spirit is peering out at you. They are. They're in the abyss. And you're looking into the abyss. The eyes become filled with hate, mockery, pride, or whatever the nature of the particular spirit is. Now that the evil spirit has surfaced, you are no longer directly in touch with the person you may have been praying for. That this kind of evidence leaves no doubt in experienced exorcists or healers. Yes, healers. Many of us, that's what we're encountering. Lilith taught us this. She gave us the list of every portion of a person's body. And if you talk to that demon, call it out by name, you can control the damn thing and make it leave. Excuse me, I digressed. Skeptics, of course, are not convinced. They are likely to scoff at all any talk of spirits, especially demons, and those are the ones that are most easily possessed. They require evidence that leaves little doubt. There is evidence aplenty, and she goes on to say that there are 4 examples. And you can read about the case in Gary, Indiana, about a boy who walked backwards up a wall and onto the ceiling. Folks, this happens. It happens more than what most people realize. Why? Well, today they don't have the insane asylums. They don't have the sanatoriums, as they called them back in the day. But all the workers will tell you back in those days that they saw some shit that, yeah, it's a fact. Anyway, when they started to pray for him, a horrified registered nurse who was in the room at the time told the Indianapolis Star there was no way he could have done that. Yeah, there is no way. Another case in China. You can listen. I left the links to all of these so you can check them out. Yeah, folks, this is the real deal. Now I still have one other. Here's one that I thought was interesting because I think that there has to be more credence given attention to this. And that is, here are the 10 evidences proof of aliens or demons in disguise. Now, there was a movie out there. Excuse me, folks. I'm expecting. Oh, we have the garage guys outside. So, anyway, if it seems like I'm distracted, I am. But this is interesting because I think there is probably more foundation. See, I don't believe in this whole thing of demons and angels. Nah, that's a bunch of crap. It's all back into the whole Abrahamic Judeo Christian crap, and that's just crap. But listen, I believe that we're not alone here. I did a whole video on that. We're not alone. Go back and watch it. Many of you will just completely take you aback. Some of the evidence on here is demons have always treated mankind with cruelty, and that is exactly what some of the alleged aliens do after they abduct humans. What is it the aliens do when they abduct women? They rape them. Demons are believed to torture people, and aliens also do nothing but torture as they subject the abducted humans to various experimentations. Demons are believed to prey on human beings, and that is why they are dependent on humans. We're a food support. That's what Lilith said. I go back in some of the books that we did. King Og, he tried to tell us humans were nothing more than a food source for the longest time. Similarly, aliens are also dependent on humans as they show up pretty often in the skies of Earth to abduct people. Apparently, I'm gathering they have a taste for cows, they seem to. If claims to be believed, alien abductions can be stopped by invoking the name of a holy Lord. Give me 1 second, folks. I just want to make sure that I have this. Okay. Yes. Multitasking, all we do. All right. Again, I don't know why they seem to be afraid of the name Jesus Christ. I mean, listen, I used it. It worked. While aliens are believed to be helping humans with science and technology, if a closer look is taken, all the technologies that is allegedly shared by aliens is basically destructive in nature and is against the well-being of mankind. Can I just add here? Let's just be real honest. Has technology benefited all that much? No. Listen, I had a Grand Prix. Love that car. I'd have had sex with that car because that car was about, if many of you know, go back and look at a 1973 Grand Prix. And I didn't have a cell phone. I had an 8-track tape player, but didn't have a cell phone. Didn't miss a thing, folks. Not a thing. Didn't need to stream anything. Didn't need to text anything. And if I needed to talk to anybody, I could pull over to the side of the road and find a payphone. Now, I did eventually, as I went into business, I got one of the very first car phones. It was a Southwestern Bell. I still remember it, and it fit very nicely in my Lincoln Continental. But anyway, so the point is, technology has been a real bummer for us. As people who have encountered with aliens, they emit horrible odors, much like the hideous demons that we read about in various texts. As per the mythical text, demons could change their appearance and look just like humans. Did not the Apostle Paul say that many have entertained angels unaware? Bam. There are many firsthand accounts of various people who claim they had encounters with aliens who looked exactly like humans. Yep. As per religious texts, angels used to come down from the skies, with points to the fact that they were not anything but alien folks. Satan, the embodiment of evil and the head of demons, is nothing but a fallen angel. Hence, it is obvious that Satan and all the demons that are controlled by him are aliens too. I still say I haven't seen Satan's spaceship yet. They talk about the one with Yahweh, but I haven't heard the one about Satan yet. Talked about many of them are like that the various tales that people have seen when they've seen these aliens look like very much a lot of the drawings of the medieval times. Demons would hardly show up in the middle of a crowd or in a place where there is enough light. Likewise, aliens are also never heard to have been seen in crowded places or during the daytime. And then, of course, we're seeing these cryptids everywhere. So anyway, and the last one, how to exorcise aliens, possession of the fourth kind. If you go watch that movie was particularly interesting. In Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, it was taken from Nome, Alaska. Do you know that Nome, Alaska has more people missing than any other city in the United States? There's more strange disappearances where people are never seen. In fact, the thing about Nome, Alaska is that it also has the highest percentage of abductions, aliens. And the story goes, it's said to be based on a true story of a psychiatrist who had a patient that she put under hypnosis. And lo and behold, and I'll just give you the bottom, what happens. The thing that was possessing these people was an ancient Sumerian god. I don't think they ever left. And if they did, I think that they're coming back. Someone says, if Jesus isn't real, why do they screech at that name? I think you could use Muhammad's name. They're playing a game, Carol. That's what they're doing. They're playing a game. And it's entertaining for them. And quite frankly, it's entertaining for humans. Humans love to see the perverse, the really very strange. We do. Well, Scott, just make sure that, yeah. And Carol, listen, believe however you want. I just know this. Listen, I preached in the prisons. I preached in the hospitals. I did a healing ministry. I did a deliverance ministry. I know about this shit. I really do. There was a guy who has passed on to the other side, but we were in the construction. We did, rehabbing of homes. And there was this dude that was walking down the street, and I can immediately knew, I told David, I said, this guy is not by himself. I said, I see at least a dozen or more different beings. And when he came up, he immediately saw me and said, oh, hell no. And then went over to my friend and grabbed my friend's hand and started to put a symbol. Well, I immediately, and what you do on that, I just immediately spit that, took that curse off of David, because that's what this demonic was trying to do. And true story. When I looked over there and I started to raise my hand, he shit on himself. And when that happened, I just said, I had enough of this, and we just walked away. Did I cast that entity out? No. I mean, if dude's going to crap on himself, hey, that's his problem. I've had enough. So, but the fact is, folks, so let's look at what's happening in Congress. I think, since the only thing that I see coming out is hate, this is what's led me on. And listen, there are other journalists who are making observations who are what I would call secularist. They don't have a religious agenda in this. They're just observing that something is weird. It's just hate. And that tells me that something else is going on. See, a lot of people have a lot of different views, and I love it. Something going on. Is there a parasite? Is this what we're talking about? Is there something of a physical entity that has a physical form that just can't be seen with these eyes? Has something infected our brains that says, listen, the 5G wavelength is what we thrive on. And now that we're inside the human brain, that where we really can thrive, I mean, folks, you have to look at all possibilities. The old answers are not working. And since the old answers aren't working, we have to begin to say, let's expand our thinking and be a little bit more creative. Because we've got to look at a different set of potential solutions, because the old ones don't work. The old ones is what got us here. Hey, Blazing River, what's up? I'm just reading this. See, I love this. This is what it's about. Okay, folks. I know this is kind of controversial, but we got to think about it. I mean, to deny this would be the ostrich syndrome. Hear no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. I don't want to hear it, man. Don't mess with my energy flow, man. I'm in the zone, and now you're bringing this heavy stuff on me. By the way, folks, there is something going on over on the Loyalty Islands. They are really I have seen no less than, I guess, 14 earthquake alerts. They have been really getting hit over there. Willow says, I absolutely believe they are infected. Yeah. I like this. Got a bright group. I tell you, I love you folks. You're just awesome. I enjoy this community that we've all built where we can come and discuss these things. Listen, I don't have the answer. I just know that they exist. I know that there is something of a tangible essence that does exist. We are not alone on this planet, not by a long shot. And you know what really, I guess what I'm really am fed up about? I'm tired of humans walking in the dark. We stumble, we're blind. And we've been doing this for so long, and we attack one another and never coming together and saying, wait a minute, let's have a powwow here. Let's pass around the peace pipe, make sure you put in some good hash. And as we sit there and contemplate on the path and how we got where we are, because I don't think anyone likes where we are. So somewhere along the line, we took a wrong turn. And I think we just need to take a little sabbatical, a little time out, and, get our shit together. That's what I think. Just my opinion. But, I think John Lennon had it right. All we're saying is give peace a chance, I don't have the answers. Apparently, neither does the other person, but maybe we come together and just be able to talk and say, yeah, this is some weird stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Got any answers? Well, we know that religious route, that really didn't turn out too well. Yeah, that's true. What about the political? No, now that one really screwed things up. Yeah, you're right. Well, how do we solve this? Yeah. I found if you say don't get offended, but they do get offended. It's true. I had to tell my brother, I said, hey, Nina the Mystic has her show on. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that. But, he's in a situation, and I have told him this. Don't talk politics. Well, it's the only thing that's really, no, don't talk politics. Well, you can't ignore it. Don't talk politics. Maybe talk in the fact that, hey, what can we do to find some common ground? I like common ground. Common ground is good ground. You know what I'm saying? It's not too high ground, although I like being on the high ground. Being on the ground and high at the same time, but the lowlands, never liked the lowlands. I like the common land. Yeah. All right. Did you say you saw some walking on the wall? Yes, I did. It was back in the old, in St. Louis. I think it was St. Vincent's, if I believe it's correct. They actually had what they had the insane asylum back in the day. Check it out. By the way, that place is probably, if you really want to go do a haunting, some, ghost busting, that place is full of it. It'll freak your ass right out. She's going live on Facebook, so join her for a hump day message. Nina the Mystic over there. Yeah, we're only aware of a small bit of what the real spirits are. Anyone has my email? It's right below. Thank you, Susie Q. Hey, cheesesteak. David Castle, much love to you, brother. Keep yourself warm, thank you, Ruby. Hello, Jenny. Appreciate it. Yes, left side, the middle high ground, a lot of common ground. It's true. Thank you, Carol. Much love to you, dear. Blazing River, good to see you. All right, folks, have yourself a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Much love, Deborah Truax and Bonnie. Thank you. All right, let's rock and roll. See y'all tomorrow. Peace and love the one you're with. That's the way I always say. Thank you, Deborah Sloan. All right, bye-bye.